I bought the cheapest R8 in the UK, and here it is.
There's no way out. Liquid flowing through my veins. I know it's true. I know I'm blue. Compare me to a radio with no sound. You'll find us alike. All I've dreamt is giving a difference with this, but I'm still alive. I hear voices when I'm alone.
So, how much was the cheapest R8 in the UK? Well, I won't keep you in suspense. It was £21,500. I mean, so cheap, so cheap. It's obviously got problems. That's why it was cheap. Not as bad as you'd think, but there are issues. What we'll be doing is, in these videos, we're going to be going through all the faults, going through each one, finding out what the faults are, what the fixes are, and basically just videoing it all and putting it on YouTube. Right, first things first, one of the main big issues with this car, which was quite a concern, 2 camshaft position errors and 1 variable valve timing issue, possibly a variator for the variable valve timing. Engine management light was on, obviously slightly concerning. Scanned it and come up with these faults. So that's the first one. The second one is aircon. So the aircon doesn't work in this car. Could be pressure sensor, could be just hasn't got any gas in it, could be the compressor's gone. And if it's the compressor's gone, the engine's got to come out to do it. So I'd rather it wasn't that one. Airbags, so airbag lights on. When it was scanned, it just turns out the seats weren't plugged in, but we got rid of the seats anyway. They've now been replaced with some Recaro CS seats. It just had the normal Audi comfort seats in it, which they're not anything special at all really for what the car is. So it's now got seats in it that, you know, represent the car. Yeah, just a couple of other ones. The heaters, don't need that anymore. The heaters, basically turn them to hot, they're fine. Turn them to cold, don't go to cold. So we're going to have to probably address that. Probably the heater valve, I would have thought, that's stuck or sticking. So let's talk about why this R8 was so cheap. £21,500 is a fraction of the price it should be. First of all, obviously it's got the issues we just talked about. That's fine, doesn't matter. It's high miles for an R8, it's 94,000 miles. Kind of high for an R8. Also, it was a Cat D back in 2014, I think. But the paintwork is so clean, it's been resprayed, it is immaculate, you would not know. I mean, this is the kind of car, I wanted an R8. My goal was to own an R8. I had an RS4, B7 RS4 before, in the same colour, the grey. And this car came up so cheap. I sold my RS4 and bought this and ended up 1,500 quid. Right, so when I was looking for an R8, I was very, very limited of what I could buy because of the money. I was specifically looking for a like a ropey one, needed a bit of work. There's no way I could have afforded to buy one at the current prices of 35,000-ish for a nice one. So I bought one that needed work. It's already got the miles on it, so it doesn't matter that I drive it every day. It doesn't matter at all. I don't care, I'll put another mile on it, another mile on it, it doesn't matter. I didn't want to buy one that I was afraid of driving just because of putting miles on it. Again, with my B7 RS4, it was low miles. I sort of drove it, and then every time I drove it I was worried about putting miles on it. But this thing, daily drive it now, love it. Right, we've talked about the bad bits on this car. Now let's talk about the good bits, and there are quite a few good bits. It's already been modified before I got it. As you probably noticed from the video, the first reveal video, it is on air. So it's on Airlift 3P Performance shocks and airbags. It's an awesome gimmick. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have done that to an R8. Kind of ruins it a little bit, but at the same time, it makes it awesome. It gets loads of attention just because of how it sits on the floor. It just looks great. And it's got on it as well, also came on it, is some Revolve 3-piece split rims, and these are custom made in America and imported, and apparently, word has it, there's only 2 sets of these ever built. They look great, but they're a bit too skinny on the back end. Normally this car would come with 2 9.5s on the back, it's got 2 2.5s on the back. So once you get up to sort of speed, national speed limit-ish, not any faster, it gets a little bit sketchy. It sort of feels like you're a bit detached from the road. I mean, that could be a number of things. It could be basically tracking, alignment, but I think it's more likely going to be the fact that the tyres are just not the width they should be. Right, so this 3P system's actually got a really cool gimmick, and that gimmick is full control from your phone. You can put it in, basically put it in show mode to have the ignition off, and you can just up and down. It's cool when people are looking at the car, you can just sort of stand back and they don't know what's going on, the car's going up. It's quite funny. Yeah, just air it out now. There it is on the floor. I'll take you over to show you the build. That's really, really neatly done there. The compressor and everything sort of built in down in here with the manifold, the tank and everything there. And yeah, we've got the Airlift Performance adjustable dampers there, so you can adjust them. Just makes it a bit better. I think they're slightly different to the you probably can't hear me over that, but we'll shut that down. Yeah, so it's slightly different to the Slam kit. I think they don't have that adjustment on them, but yeah, pretty cool. Right, so what we'll be doing in future videos is addressing the issues that we found. I'll be sort of blogging them all, vlogging them, whatever you call it, don't know what the term is, on my iPhone, so none of it's going to look as good as this. I've got my mate Ollie here doing a video, and he's pretty much a professional. Pretty much professional. So yeah, so I'll be doing them on my iPhone, so they won't look as great, but hopefully they'll be interesting to watch. I love watching other people do these videos, especially on stuff like R8s, really love watching them. So I thought, I used to do like build threads on the forums back in the day, and I used to enjoy that, letting everyone see what's going on. So just doing the same thing now, but with video and YouTube. So hopefully you enjoy the videos.